Story 1. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that a pregnancy announcement doesn't count as a Christmas present? My 32-male family gets together every year for Christmas for a week or so at a popular vacation spot in our state. This has been a tradition since I was a kid, and every year we do a Secret Santa exchange. Anyone over 18 is put into the pool, which helps cut down on expenses as you only need to purchase a present for one adult instead of all the siblings, parents, aunts, uncles, etc. Kids and teens under 18 would get individual presents, but the youngest is my sister, who is 24 female, so it hasn't come up for a while. My sister, Heather, 24 female, is the one who had my name this year. She gave me a positive pregnancy test wrapped up to look like a DVD set of my favorite show. I unwrapped it and congratulated her, but was curious about what happened to the DVDs. I thought maybe she had them set aside, since she had the packaging for the box set. She got mad and told me that her present to me and the family was the pregnancy, and that she didn't have the DVDs. I told her that I was happy for her, but felt a little cheated. The Secret Santa presents are supposed to be either handmade or between $50 and $100, so they're usually high-quality presents. Also, Heather didn't tell any of us that she was trying to get pregnant. She isn't married, and we don't love her boyfriend, so it was kind of mixed news anyways. I get that she was trying to be cute, but am I the a-hole for expecting the DVDs a real present? Her present from my aunt was a $100 gift card to a spa she loves, for reference. My parents think I should just be happy there will be a niece or nephew, but it still doesn't seem fair, and I just don't think a niece or nephew in 6 months counts as a Secret Santa present. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. A gift like that is really only acceptable to her significant other. You deserved a real gift, right? I had to do a double take. This is weird to do for anyone but for an older brother. Ick. Your gift is a stick she peed on? Ew. Not the a-hole. Positive or negative, I'd be asking how anyone else in the family would feel to receive something that was peed on. Not the a-hole. Congratulations. You won free babysitting duties for the next 14 to 16 years. As part of this exciting gift, you get to help feed the baby, change the baby, take care of the baby when she needs to go to the spa. You get to spend time and money because your sister decided that protection was for suckers. And well, the gift might actually be handmade if she got her boyfriend to jizz in a turkey baster. Not the a-hole. Your sis is an idiot. This genuinely made me laugh out loud. Yeah, I see lots of babysitting in my future. Her boyfriend is a piece of crap, and they've broken up and gotten back together like 3 times in the last few years. Take a picture of some cute baby clothes and give it to her. For her birthday, if her birthday is before the birth. Or give it at a baby shower. If she looks confused, tell her you thought you were doing the not gift since you didn't get the DVDs, just a case. I'd go outside, find a random stick, any size, pee on it, put it in a DVD case and give her that. That's literally what she gave him, so it's acceptable, right? Not the a-hole. Personally, I would have been pissed. Like, I get that she's excited about it, but her pregnancy is most certainly not a gift to you. Even the DVDs would be a stupid present if the limit is $50, $100. She cheaped out, and you have every right to be upset. It's unfair to set expectations for a meaningful gift and then just throw out a life update. It's not the same, and your feelings are valid. Exactly. A gift is supposed to be thoughtful and considerate of the recipient, not a way to make everything about the giver. Her pregnancy announcement, while exciting for her, isn't a meaningful or appropriate gift for you. And if there's a set price limit, it's even more frustrating that she didn't put in the effort to meet it with something you'd actually appreciate. Now, depending on how many sticks she peed on, she could have easily spent $50, $100 on all the tests. Totally counts, right? Just in case it wasn't obvious. I'd be pretty pissed, no pun intended, and feel cheated too if my Christmas gift was a effing urine sample. Not the a-hole. Your sister is out of line and owes you a present. If she hasn't corrected it by her birthday, get her a DVD box of her favorite TV show and put in a baby grow that has the picture of your face on it. Maybe be super petty and include a small vial of apple juice, and when she questions it, just say, "Yeah, I thought it was a bit weird." Give me a pee-soaked stick, too. If she still doesn't correct it from now on, she no longer exists as an independent identity from her baby. Birthday, just get her stuff for her kids. It'll infuriate her. But what I don't see the problem, she made my present all about the baby. I'm following her lead and making all presents about the baby. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for snapping at a hotel receptionist after being given the wrong room 3 times? I was on a trip recently and booked a room at a fairly nice hotel. I specifically paid extra for a room with a king bed and a city view because it was supposed to be a relaxing getaway. When I checked in, they gave me a room with 2 twin beds and a view of the parking lot. I went back to the front desk, politely explained the issue, and they apologized, saying there was a mix-up. They gave me another room key, but when I got to that room, it still wasn't right. This time it was a queen bed with no view at all. I was annoyed but kept my cool and went back to the desk again. They apologized again and assured me the next room would be correct. Spoiler, it wasn't. The 3rd room wasn't even cleaned yet. There were towels on the floor and an unmade bed. At that point, I was exhausted and frustrated. I went back to the front desk and snapped at the receptionist. I didn't yell or swear, but I raised my voice and told them it was ridiculous that I couldn't get the room I paid for after 3 tries. The receptionist looked flustered and said they were doing their best, but I wasn't really in the mood to hear it. They eventually upgraded me to a suite, but when I told a friend about the situation, they said I overreacted and that it wasn't the receptionist's fault because they don't control room assignments. I feel like I was justified in being upset, but now I'm wondering if I crossed a line. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. As a former hotel receptionist, they're literally the only ones who control the room assignments. You have every right to be upset. 3 times is absurd. Right? They're the ones who mess up, and instead of owning it, they act like they're doing OP a favor by giving them a suite. They fumbled 3 times and tried to brush it off like it was no big deal. If I were OP, I'd be furious too. Either the room wasn't clean yet, or they were overbooked on that room type and were trying to pull a fast one. Once is an honest mistake, twice is incompetence, thrice, man, they don't like you. A receptionist assigns rooms, that's part of their job. Not the a-hole. OP was understandably frustrated after multiple mistakes, and it's part of their job to resolve issues like this. True. Having to go back and forth multiple times after a long journey is frustrating and disruptive. Receptionists do assign rooms. They probably just overbooked that room type and figured you would either just accept the first room without complaining, or give up after the 2-3 time and accept one of those. I get that hotels can be hectic, but if they're going to take my money for a specific room, they should ensure it's available. It's frustrating when expectations aren't met. They damn well better either refunding my money or upgrading my stay if they don't have what I paid for. Not the a-hole. The receptionist may not control room assignments, but rooms are coded by their features, e.g. king-size city view, king-size parking lot view, etc. Those codes, for example, K101 and K102, are assigned to each room number, so when you book a king with a city view, they know they're supposed to give you a K101 room. They don't know which K101 room you're going to get, necessarily, but it sounds like they were giving you rooms with entirely different room type codes. After the second F-up, I would have asked to speak to the hotel manager. Expecting to get the room OP paid for isn't overreacting. Mistakes happen, but 3 in a row would frustrate anyone. Your anger was understandable, and you remained in control of yourself. That it wasn't the receptionist's fault, because they don't control room assignments. Your friend is not very intelligent, is he? The receptionist is at the front desk and is the face of the hotel. She deals with incoming guests. It absolutely is her job and under her control. The same reception that upgraded you to a suite, by the way. Not the a-hole. Exactly this. Your friend is either an idiot or a doormat. You did not lose control. You raised your voice. You didn't scream "manager" and demand the clerk be fired. You asserted your complaints in a rational manner, though a little loud, and got what you paid for, even an upgrade for your inconvenience. This is the way. Exactly. That's what customer service is literally there for. People acting like it's being a dick to use a service you pay for is crazy. Like, yeah, F the man, all that. But our society only functions if transactions are completed as expected in the majority of cases. I booked a room at a hotel, and when I arrived at the room, the keycard didn't work. Went back to the front desk, and they told me the new guy made a mistake, and they reprogrammed the key. Still didn't work. The third time I got to my room, the manager met me at the door to make sure it worked. It didn't. He let me in and told me he'd deliver a working keycard in a few minutes. He did, along with profuse apologies. This manager understood the frustration of trying to get into your room multiple times and made sure I didn't have to try again. So no, not the a-hole. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for accepting jewelry from my sisters that belong to our mom when it symbolizes the end of our relationship? I, 19 female, have 2 younger sisters, Sarah, 16, and Leah, 15. When we were younger, 5, 6, and 9, our mom died. She had left us each 3 of her most sentimental pieces of jewelry. I got her locket, her family bracelet, and a ring she owned. Sarah got her name necklace, a pair of earrings she wore to everything, and a bracelet Dad bought her. While Leah got 2 necklaces Mom had since her teens that she wore on certain occasions, and a ring that she felt was good luck. 2 years after Mom died, our dad met Cindy and they got married. Sarah and Leah loved her fast and started calling her Mom. I always called her Cindy and didn't even say she was my stepmom. My sisters hated it, and they told me I should call her Mom too, and we should make this a family. They said they loved her and wanted it to be the same as it was before, when Mom was alive. I told them I didn't love Cindy and didn't want things to be the same with her. I told them it could never be. Mom was too important. Cindy and I did get along fine for years, but then she was upset with me because my sisters made a big deal about being adopted by her without me, and after that things became strained. My sisters never forgave me for ruining how they felt their adoption should go. They said it was like I only cared about Mom and loved her the most. I said I loved the 2 of them, Dad and Mom the same. They said I loved Mom more than Cindy, and I said the difference still was that I loved Mom, period. Sarah told me I wasn't their sister anymore that time, and that I was an outsider nobody wanted. I left some stuff when I moved out and started college, and my sisters went through my journal. I had wrote in my journal how much them calling Cindy Mom hurt me, and how I wish my dad had never met Cindy, and it had stayed the 4 of us. This was a journal I kept when I was 13. They also found the page I wrote the day of Dad and Cindy's wedding, where I wrote everything that was better about my mom over Cindy. They sent me photos of pages that they found the worst, including the ones I mentioned, and told me I was an evil bitch and they couldn't believe I would write any of that, or even think Cindy wasn't good enough and amazing and perfect. I told them they had no business going through my old journal. My dad, when I told him, took the journal and sent me that and another notebook that had some journal-like stuff inside. He also talked to my sisters, but they were so angry. When I went home for Christmas last year, they told me they liked it better when I wasn't around, because they could be a real family, and they didn't have to deal with me treating Cindy like she was just a woman Dad married. They said I ruined our family, and that they hated Mom because I loved her so much. Dad was furious with them, but for months I didn't speak to them at all, and I only spoke to them once this summer when I visited for a day. They told me Cindy had breast cancer, and I should have dropped out of school to be there for her. I tried to ask if they were okay, and if they were scared, but they said I was making it about Mom when my mind went there, and they told me to F off. Dad didn't know about that conversation. I didn't see them or speak to them again until the 24th. I dropped off stuff for them and stayed for lunch before going to my grandparents for the rest of Christmas. While I was there, my sisters brought the jewelry Mom wanted them to have, and they told me to take it. They said if I did, it showed I would never accept Cindy like everyone wanted, and I would be no longer their sister, and they wanted nothing to do with me. Dad was there and tried to talk it down. They said they'd wanted to throw it in the trash and make me suffer, but they wanted to see what I'd do. I knew they meant it all, so I took it and I left. Dad told me he was going to get them more extensive therapy. They've already been going for years, and try to fix this, but I don't think it can be done. They both text me now and say I'm the worst sister and daughter to Cindy, And how dare I do this? That I should have let the jewelry go in the trash. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. Your sisters are being cruel and unreasonable. The jewelry is a connection to your mom, and it's not your fault they feel differently about Cindy. You didn't do anything wrong by taking it instead of letting them throw it away. They need to work through their issues, but you don't have to tolerate their behavior. My dad's really stressed about it. He's had them in therapy for years now, tried different therapists and types of therapy, but nothing has changed. He knows I don't visit much because I just don't want to deal with being around them. You know Cindy is likely encouraging this behavior, right? And the therapy is not working because she is undermining it. I bet you good money the whole jewelry give-back stunt was orchestrated by Cindy, and your father is just blind to it all. Not the a-hole. You can't be Cindy's worst daughter because she was never your mother. I think your dad understands this. Your sister's irrational hatred of your biological mother has to have been sparked by something. A truly compassionate stepmother would have told them that she respects that she can never replace your mother, and if it hurt her, she was the adult and responsible for managing her feelings. I don't think Cindy is even remotely the angel they think she is. You're right. The OP is not the a-hole. The sisters are being manipulative and cruel. Their behavior is unacceptable. Cindy is not the innocent victim they portray her to be. She should have handled the adoption situation better. The sisters' hatred of the biological mother is disturbing. The OP shouldn't be forced to accept Cindy as a mother figure. The sisters' actions are a way to control and punish the OP. The OP made the right decision by taking the jewelry. She shouldn't feel guilty for their actions. Not the a-hole. Your little sisters sound annoying and you can't be forced to feel something you don't feel. Unless you did something really mean and uncivil that you aren't mentioning, I say not the a-hole. Nope. But they view my feelings as mean and cruel. They view me not being adopted as an act of hate against Cindy. Yeah, not the a-hole. You're good. Out of curiosity, what do your grandparents think of the whole situation? You mean Mom's side? It's disappointing for them. They always wanted us to be close, but especially because my sisters don't care much for them. They feel like my grandparents should have encouraged me to accept Cindy more, and they feel like my grandparents weren't celebrating enough when Cindy adopted them. It's time to tell your father that you need to go no contact for your own sanity, and that your sisters need extensive psychological help, and that whatever they are getting now is not nearly enough. Beyond that, change your telephone number. Don't let your mentally ill sisters harass you. You also need to take that jewelry and put it in a safety deposit box so that they can't take it back one day and destroy it. It sucks, but your sisters are a lost cause. Time for you to accept that and move on with your life. Cindy is also a piece of shit for not putting a stop to what your sisters were doing, and I would be willing to bet she has encouraged this behavior. Not the a-hole. Has Cindy said anything to your sisters about this, or has she been trying to force the narrative a bit too? If she is okay with you not accepting her as mom, but as a trusted parental figure, then maybe you, Cindy, and your father can sit down with a therapist to try and figure out a way to explain why your feelings are valid and why Cindy is okay with that. Then your father and Cindy need to sit down with your sisters and probably a therapist to make it crystal clear why you are not bad for feeling this way. Your dad and Cindy really dropped the ball hard when it came to nipping this shit in the bud early on and not validating the feelings of all of you as a family unit. I think they also dropped the ball with the therapy. Your sister's anger and hatred toward you has only escalated. This has me wondering if that therapist is even doing anything to help your sisters, or if they are just validating the shit out of them and blaming you. Does your dad and Cindy even do follow-ups? Are they at all critical of your sister's therapy, or is it just a problem they throw money at, hoping it resolves itself? As adults, they've failed the three of you, and this broken family is the mess they've created. Not the a-hole. I think that's all your dad's fault. He didn't let the girls properly going to grief. He got married less than 2 years later. These girls were effing kids. They got so scared of losing another mom that they lost themselves in the good daughter character. That's a real trauma here. Tell your dad that therapy is not enough. They are going to the psychiatrist and meds territory. I'm telling you, a therapist myself. They're making you the scapegoat to show the stepmom they're the perfect good daughter. You're the villain, so they can't be. Honestly, the adults are in fault for letting things get that bad. These girls may never have a healthy relationship with themselves because of that.
Thank you for listening. If you like the video, consider like and subscribe. If you want more stories like these, turn on your notification to receive the latest stories.